All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So I believe this is going to be a cool knowledge center video, okay? I will for sure tell you what I think about tomorrow and next week, but this, I believe, is a really good example of why I always stress. You hear me say it on videos, you see me, you read it when I put it in comments. I do not trust after hours. I have seen, we literally just saw together the strongest after hour runs turn into red candles. And I mean, I said it on the Discord. This was yesterday. We were still at $10 in those first couple hours of after hours yesterday as well. I mentioned it on the YouTube comments as well. Like, I talked about banking because, again, if you watch my last video, which was yesterday, my theory was we were going to run this channel. And instead of doing it today in a normal, healthy, regular hour window, we basically did the entire thing after hours, right? So it's an interesting knowledge center because I'm telling you, this will not be the last time you see this in your trading career, right? And you want to learn from this if you got caught, all right? So before I go any further, though, and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time, I am so grateful for it, all right? So let's get into it, and I want to start with just, if you've never been here before, you're going to realize this if you watch it, and if you've been here for a while, you should know. Look, I'm not here to talk about diamond hands and to talk about holding blindly and holding that. Like, I'm here for profits, all right? And I was excited. I was crazy excited just for yesterday's day. All right, a beautiful 24%, a beautiful secondary candle after the good one the day before. I mean, we escaped a $6 wall. There was a lot that was getting excited. And as I was making my video, we were still kind of creeping in that high 8 range. You know what I mean? So it didn't even really take off until after I hit, stop recording and whatnot, right? When the stock flew, and the moral of the video yesterday really was there's going to be more. I was confident that there was going to be more. And the reason was, look, this is an easy channel, all right? A channel is nothing more than the spacing between 2 lines, right? Sometimes I use moving averages as a channel, like between here and here, that's a channel. Otherwise, it's between one resistance and another, right? Or one support and a resistance, whatever you want to call it, between 2 lines. This 779 line and then this 1070 line, right? There is, from the day this thing was created, right? This was never a stock, never a stock, never a stock, IPO. From the first day it was real, all the way through here, right? Basically till here, I guess, right? There's only been 2 real candles, that green one and that green one, all right? Otherwise, there's nothing but red, nothing. I thought it would be a quick green, all right? And look, in some ways I was right, in some ways I was wrong, right? Excuse me, I was right because look, it did it. It literally it flew. Like, I can't, like, it flew from that 7, and again, I'm not here to draw perfect lines or claim I'm making perfect lines, right? But it basically just flew. I can't stress that. And we were all excited about it from here to here because, again, that's an easy channel. That's a good channel with minimum resistances. There's a reason I didn't draw the line right there. Clearly I could have, right? It looks like that's kind of like it looked like it would, but no, I mean, that looked beautiful, all right? One thing, and again, I started talking about it. I know I said 25%. I banked 25%, a little over 10. You can see it was right around that comment about after hour gains turning into reds. Like, I've seen it before, you know what I mean? And I wish I banked more, because honestly, I could have sold at 10 and bought at what, roughly 8ish. Obviously, even lower, you can see it wick down all the way below that, right? But if I sold it at 10, bought it at 8, I literally could have had 20% more shares for the same amount of money if I did that, right? So again, like, people use the word conservative as an insult. It's not an insult to be conservative. You want to bank your money before, like, I said it on the Discord. My wife woke up real mad at me. Like, she was like, why didn't you bank more? You know what I mean? And yeah, it's obviously hindsight's 2020, right? But yeah, when you come into it expecting it to go somewhere and it basically goes there, there's two things that can happen. And I'm telling you, they both happen to me. Number one, you get greedy and you want it to go more, because hey, whoa, I just called it from here to here. There's nothing after that, right? That has to be for like, there's so much of this. There's gonna be more that comes to you, or you bank, because you know what, you executed the move, you executed close enough. It's just one of those things, and it's important to find the balance of that. And then more than anything, don't think of conservative as weak. There are so many people that use phrases like buy the fear, don't let the fear consume you. I diamond hands is another one of those, right? Like, no, that's not what the game is. Like, your money is your army. You need to protect it and hopefully grow it, right? So, and the good thing is, you don't need to steal from my army to grow yours, right? That's why I got no problem showing you guys my thoughts and opinions, right? Because again, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. It's not like we're attacking the same market, right? So that's at least how I see it. But let's start talking about tomorrow onward. So I'll do the next chapter at 7:15ish. But look, today was an interesting day. All right. This 779 line is obviously a line I talked about for a reason. But if you watch my videos, one thing I talk about, I never want to lose more than half of yesterday. All right. You can see it. The wick at one point looked like we were actually going to lose the entire yesterday and then some, maybe. Like, it was real scary for actually most of the day. We didn't make this decent recovery up to here a little bit late. All right. One thing I really, really wanted to do, look, 865. All right. I mentioned this again on the Discord, 8.65. So one thing I wanted, for me, I needed it to close over yesterday to assume a good after hours. So far, it's not a spectacular after hours as I see it, all right? Again, to me, how you do compared to yesterday is a real important indicator for what tomorrow is going to bring, all right? What I do like is, look, again, I don't like the red day, especially when I was thinking green, right? But we only lost about 10% of yesterday, right? And again, I'm ballparking, right? But that little sliver that we lost is about 10. We definitely have most of yesterday's, right? So I'm cool with that. I do not want to go below 797 tomorrow. In a lot of ways, at that point, it just ends up being the 779 line, right? But I basically don't want to go below $8 on my close tomorrow, because that would be, roughly speaking, again, my lines aren't here for perfect, right? But that's about half of this big candle right here, right? So as long as we can hold 8, I'll be really happy. Again, at that point, we're basically talking about another, I guess that's what, 10%, 20, yeah, no, that's dumb math. That's 2%. Yeah, that's okay. Again, one of the things I talked about on my video, again, I'm never here to say go watch some of my other videos. I rarely do that, right? But I talked about it going to 10. I talked about it coming to 7 to kind of reset and then kind of going, right? So again, it's crazy that like what I anticipated to be basically like the next 3 days of trading all happened after hours and during the regular hour. So today was a wild, wild day, all right? I do need to flash this, all right? IWM, the Russell ETF, which basically looks like the Russell, not a beautiful day today, all right? Let's take a look at NASDAQ, the NASDAQ composite. Not the best day, and you can see it's been really choppy. All right, volume hasn't been even hitting the 50-day average. You can see the MACD doesn't look great. We have red over green instead of other way around. We actually also have red over green on the RSI. So NASDAQ doesn't look beautiful. I'm glad it's over the 20, but it doesn't look beautiful, right? And then again, S&P 500, kind of the same thing, choppy. Glad it's over some lines, right? But volume's not looking great. MACD, RSI is looking a little odd, right? So in some ways, SOUN is just kind of living the realities of this rather ugly market, all right? There was a new person to trading. They basically said they found a cool AI stock, and lo and behold, it ran this much, right? And the question was why? Look, again, this hype really is NVIDIA, right? NVIDIA is the #1 stock in the world, right? That's obviously an opinion. You can argue that, right? But NVIDIA controls the tech world. And if NVIDIA is willing to say, I'm going to invest some money in this 4 letters right here, SOUN, that you might not have heard of, but we invested in, oh man, you can imagine a lot of people are going to go, hey, what's this SOUN thing that NVIDIA, if NVIDIA's money is good for it, maybe mine is, right? Like these are common things that it's all human nature, right? And again, maybe it's just some like fund manager that's trying to just catch up, and lo and behold, right? Like there's so many things that happen when people follow, right? One of the things I say on my videos is like, even if I say my money's in, even if Kathy this, Jim Cramer that, CEO this person, CFO that, like if someone else buys, that shouldn't make you want to buy. Lo and behold, that actually happens most of the time anyways, you know? So a little bit longer of a video than I wanted to make. Let me know your thoughts. This is still a daily chart stock. There's not much we're taking from the weekly, all right? I imagine very quickly we'll be coming up to this 100 moving average line. But again, this so far is a good weekly chart, right? Good candle, interesting doji, good candle. I would love to just by Friday stay over this line. That's exactly what I said on the daily, right? Because that might mean there's a little bit more. Again, crazy high 90 RSI on the weekly, right? So maybe it needs to come down a little bit. That's my kitty in the background making some noise. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh man, let me look at BBAI real quick. I know someone asked me to do that real quick. BBAI, listen, this is the exact, hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe, if you can please share, it'd be much appreciated. This is the same comment I started with on SoundHound, all right? I have seen the best after hours turn into scary red days, all right? I was flashing a thing on the Discord. I don't know if I'm going to be, oh, perfect, I never moved it. After hour gains turn into red too. I said this yesterday. I live on the West Coast, right? So for me, after hours closes at 5 p.m. This is still really early in after hours. I saw how well this thing was doing in after hours. I obviously saw and knew how good SOUN was, right? There is this excitement that goes with that, and believe me, it's hard to really know. It actually is. I'm not here pretending that I'm so good that I know where after hours is going to open, this and that. Like that's a complete lie if anyone says that, all right? After hours is so different from regular hours. The volume is different. The rules are different. You can't use stop losses, for example. It's a crazy beast that seems the same when it's not. And one more time, yesterday, I said it, after hours turns into red. That led me roughly the same time to say I banked roughly, you can see a couple minutes after it, right? What, 6 minutes, 7 minutes after it? There is always this, I know that there's more behind every green candle, right? And yeah. To BBAI, we have not seen a good candle since earnings. I'm going to just flash Tilray real quick, all right? Tilray This was the bad, or this thing was doing well, riding the 8 and the 20 like a champion. This day was earnings. On January 9th, it was earnings. And all of a sudden, it had this inability to get over the two lines, get over the 8 and the 20. This little curve is what I think about when I see BBAI. I see the drop, the try to recover, and the drop. Like the 8 and the 20 are no longer this stock's friend. It rode the 8 and the 20 up from 2 to 4 plus. It doubled when these two were the best of friends. These are not anymore. All right, and I don't believe we're going to hold the 50 moving average. You cannot lose 220. Otherwise, it will be a very fast drop just below $2 to probably 190 something. All right, so not the best of charts. That's not a good MACD. I don't like that RSI. That is a growing volume of bad right there, right? So be careful on this one. And unfortunately, that SOUN recovery that we were hoping was going to lift BBAI, because again, I said it with love, right? A lot of this ride up was following SOUN, right? So I think a lot of that recovery, that break it all and keep running, it fizzled there and kind of fizzled here, and obviously kind of hurt it worse, right? This does not look like a bad, horrible day, right? That's less than a 1% loss. That's a scary candle to me just because of that rejection to the 8 and the 20, all right? So look, I had a lot of comments about how much they love the acquisition. There's some lady, and I say that with love, right? There's some lady, I don't know her name. She is an amazing talent from what it sounds like. It sounds like she's actually probably a little bit too good for the BBAI team in a lot of ways. Just getting someone like that on the BBAI team can do some amazing things, right? So a lot of people liked the company that they acquired. A lot of people liked the team that they acquired, right? So look, I'm not here to say good or bad about the acquisition. Truth be told, I said a lot of good things, right? Like, I love acquisitions. That makes your company bigger. The problem is you got to wait a bit to see what fruits come from the tree. Like, they're just planting it. You might have to wait almost 6 months. You might have to wait almost a full 2 quarters to see what they look like, right? And again, it's less about what we as individuals think. It's more about what the market expects and what the numbers look against that, right? So I'll look at the weekly here. What's the weekly looking like? Oh man, this isn't. There's a lot happening between here and $2, and I just said it on the daily. Like it seems like we might lose it quickly. So we cannot lose 220. Otherwise, like I said, I think we're going to come to 2. Should be real difficult to lose 2 because you have 2 moving averages there on the daily and then 2 moving averages there on the weekly, right? But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Oh, I appreciate you all so much.